Most people think going ghost is about working and being productive 24/7, 365. This is wrong. This is setting you up for failure. And this is why so many protocols fail. Another misconception is that the duration is 3 months of going ghost, 6 months of going ghost, maybe a year. No, this is a lie from society and reinforced by shaitan. The real duration of going ghost, why would we ever do this? Why would we put ourselves under such discipline and such torment? Because life is easy, at least on the surface, right? Why would you make it hard? Focusing on creating an identity capable of achieving those outcomes, inshallah. On the weekend, you can sleep more, you can eat whatever you want, you can see in terms of spend a lot of time with your family, you can play games, you can recharge. Come Saturday, Sunday, do what you want, akhi. As long as you do your fara'id of Islam, chill, brother. Come Monday, you are a monster. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Sultan, and today we're going to be going through how to go ghost and upgrade your life, an entire Muslim full guide to do that. Because of course, 2026 is about to come up, and I think a lot of us have always wanted our year to be 2023, 24, 25. So inshallah, this is going to give us the practical protocol to make 2026, 7, 8, and 9, without spoiling it, our year. Let's go through the overview of what we're going to be covering today, bi'idhnillahi azza wa jal. Why does everyone suck at locking in? What is going ghost, why go ghost, and how to go ghost. So let's get straight into it. And of course, may Allah Azza wa Jal bless our brother Habib, who's been a great inspiration for us trying to be disciplined and on deen. So the first thing we're going to be covering is, why does everyone suck at locking in? I think every video that does like going ghost, etc., talks a lot about motivation, and yes, I've done it as well. But all of that content about going ghost and disappearing and coming back at 6 months, it's a lot of inspirational and abstract concepts that make you feel like you're doing something good, but within a few days, you're back to your old cycles. Like you're missing salah again, you're eating junk food when you shouldn't be eating junk food, you're skipping your gym sessions, you're working less, and you're working out less than you intended. Because this motivation alone doesn't create that lasting transformation, right? The real questions we should be asking about how to actually go ghost is, first of all, how do you start the process? Fundamentally, how do you start the process of changing and transforming your deen and dunya into the vision that you hold? How do I even start making changes in my life? Second, how do you take the right means to make that, to make it happen and stop wasting your time? Because of course we can't control the outcome of what we envision to have, but what means can we take? And how do you get out of your own way? Okay, these are the questions we're going to answer, inshallah azza wa jal, in this. And so the practical path that we're going to be going through is, we aim to be the first channel to make this process of how to go ghost and actually transform your deen and dunya, and actually transform your life, let alone your deen, bi'idhnillah azza wa jal, to as practical as possible. I want this to destroy every single training that exists for the kuffar out there, so the Muslim men in the ummah have an advantage over the kuffar who claim that they're locking in, but really they continue with the zina and they're doom scrolling and they're drinking. May Allah keep us away from these things. Ameen. So let's take this opportunity to cement our advantage in the next generation by going ghost in a way that truly transforms our life in this life and the next, bi'idhnillahi azza wa jal. So what is going ghost, right? So let's get some clarity on what going ghost actually is. It's extremely critical, to understand these things for us to succeed in actually going ghost and truly commit to it. Going ghost means removing the negative aspects of your life and dedicating your energy to the pursuits that matter as a man, a Muslim man. Which means you are dedicating yourself solely to gaining the good share of the dunya, the portion of the dunya that you want, getting closer to Allah Azza wa Jal, and earning true success in the akhirah. These are the three things that ultimately this going ghost is supposed to get us to. We remove the bad things and we move towards these three things. If you aren't moving towards these three things in your day, there's something wrong in terms of if you're going ghost. In other words, it's about stopping to waste the time and energy and barakah that Allah Azza wa Jal gives you, and the blessings that Allah Azza wa Jal gives you, and start channeling it towards meaningful change that improves your life and strengthens your deen. So the foundations that we understand of this complicated explanation is that the foundation of ghost modes is simple. No wasting the bounties of Allah Azza wa Jal, to use energy and time that are precious, to be consistently focused over time, to have a sustainable commitment, matters more than intensity bursts, which most going ghost is about, as we'll see, and personal transformation. The goal is to become a completely different man. And I think every single man, as we will go through, who says he is from يعني the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, should do what I'm about to say in this video يعني for the for the next 2-3 years, which is pretty funny, as you'll get to. So يعني all the videos are, like I said, they're very abstract in these topics, and they give you obvious steps like don't watch porn, don't waste your time, don't be a dummy, right? Do what you need to do. Like, yeah, it's obvious, right? But it doesn't actually change what we need to do. And so, for example, most people think going ghost is about working and being productive 24/7, 365. This is wrong. This is setting you up for failure. And this is why so many protocols fail. Another misconception is that the duration is 3 months of going ghost, 6 months of going ghost, maybe a year. No, this is a lie from society and reinforced by shaitan to keep us from unlocking our best selves. The real duration of going ghost, of actually transforming your life as young Muslim man, is at least 2-3 years. Okay? So look at the Dagestani MMA fighters. For those who get the joke, that's funny. Look at the Dagestani MMA fighters. We admire them for their dedication and their discipline, yani to the deen and the dunya. But few analyze what those Dagestani fighters did when they were our age. When they were 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. What were they doing, right? Even before that, what were they doing when they were actually building themselves? 16, 17, 18, 19, right? What was that process like? When they were our age, they were with their brothers. Yani Abdul Manab, may Allah Azza wa Jal have mercy on him. He took Habib, Islam, and Amr Nurmagomedov, and they all had like 12, 13 guys in one big house. And all they did is they were with each other. They were training. They went to school. They went to madrasa. They did salah. They read Quran. And they ate clean food. That's life. They did this routine 6 days a week for 10 years-ish. And today they are the greatest fighters in the world. And Islam, just a few weeks ago, became the pound-for-pound king of MMA, right? Of the UFC, right? He beat Jack Della Maddalena, I think that's his name. And their approach is the correct model of true transformation in all aspects of life. So going ghost in totality, yani to go ghost as a Muslim, you must commit yourself fully. Not metaphorically, this is wrong for the notes. Literally, to this type of rigorous discipline lifestyle for 2 to 3 years. Perhaps not in the way that they did it, but your life should be as Islam says. I eat it, I train it, I sleep it. He should have said I pray, which he does, right? I eat it, I pray it, I sleep it, I train it. That's it. That's life. And I've said this in a few videos, but I really mean to make this your existence. And it's not about working 24/7, okay? It's about quality, productivity, consistent discipline, and personal transformation. And just so you know, one of the things that I think we don't have when we're on this journey, yani, I'm being dead serious. The Dagestani brothers, they had each other. They had each other to check each other, to wrestle with each other, to pray with each other, to keep each other in the masjid, to keep each other, yani, working hard and being at the highest capability. But we don't have that type of thing. We don't have the ability to be in a house together in Mashkala, in Dagestan. We don't have that. But bi'idhnillahi azza wa jal, Allah has given us the blessing of social media. And therefore, if you want to join that group of brothers, which exists for the first time, I've never really seen it in my life. Walillah alhamd. We have an incredible group, the Majlis Network. You can check the first link in the description. You could join your brothers for so little, and there's so much benefit. And it's just a group of guys like those Dagestani guys who are just working hard, trying to get better on their deen and transform their lives. Bidnillah. If you want to be a part of that network and improve yourself through that, build your accountability, build your network with your brothers, go join that. Bidnillah. It's going to be very beneficial for you. And so, why should we go ghost? We now understand what going ghost truly means. It means a long-term commitment, not 3 months, not 6 months, not 1 year, 2 to 3 years, focusing on deen and dunya and nothing else. Right? But there's one critical aspect that many videos miss on the topic. Why would we ever do this? Why would we put ourselves under such discipline and such torment? Because life is easy, at least on the surface, right? Why would you make it hard? And why make it difficult? Life could be so simple. Yani, in terms of, especially now with all the social media and the dopamine and the bad food, whatever, life can be so easy. And, we often set specific goals for our own gain, or maybe fi sabilillah, and there's nothing wrong with that as a why. I'm why am I going to this pain? Because I want to earn 5k a month, and there can be good and bad things for that, but mostly good. I think we all have intentions that we want to do good with our things, right? Even building a six pack, we want to have an intention to, perhaps you want to take care of the amount of Allah Azza wa Jal, you want to be more disciplined, you want to make sure your nafs don't get comfortable, you want to make sure that you're good with sadaqah with your wife in the future, whatever actual intentions you have that you really do want to please Allah with what you want. Or perhaps it's like straight ibadah, you want to memorize the Quran, you want to be a hafiz. May Allah grant it to you and me. I mean, yes, these are good to have, but this is actually one I want to change. But not as primary goals, as visions. The natural outcome of pursuing a deeper true goal. Even if these goals are for Allah's sake, right? And may Allah purify our intentions and accept them. Ameen. The problem of saying these type of things is that staying on the right path becomes very difficult when our goals are objective and outcome based. We start taking shortcuts, we start calculating cheat days, and we start compromising our discipline. For example, if you want to get 85 kilos in 6 months, you'll say, oh man, like I can cheat here and perhaps I can just miss this one training session, right? Because you all you're focused on is the outcome of the goal. That's what I'm saying. So you start manipulating those things, and it's through that manipulation and the changes and the compromises that you actually don't get it. Wallah, of course, Allah is Al-Qadir, and He's the one who lets it happen or not happen, but you get what I mean in terms of the means. But also, outcomes are not in our control. Allah controls them. What we can control is our will and our nafs. Meaning, what do we do? Our choices. That's the only thing you can truly control. Allah has given you that ability. That's it. So we desire an outcome that benefits us. We're not fighting, like, do we want to do this for sake? I think we do. I think we all have intention to want to please Allah Azza wa Jal, or even just, my mama is cooking. we all have a type of vision. We want to please Allah Azza wa Jal, but we want to earn success in the akhirah, etc. But our thinking is flawed. If we tie our struggle to what Allah Azza wa Jal controls, then we will never truly get there. Nor will we be motivated to continue going on. Because think about it, really. How can you rationalize? And I really think you feel this on a spiritual level. Wallahu alam, but you probably realize that, hey, if Allah is Ar-Razzaq, how am I going to get 5k a month? I don't know. So then you start doubting yourself, you know what I mean? But when you leave the outcome up to Allah Azza wa Jal, you stop doubting those things, and you also stop doubting your need to keep going. Now, the real goal, and the way that our why and why do we do this, the only goal we can control is becoming a Muslim super soldier. This means focusing on creating an identity capable of achieving those outcomes, inshallah. Don't focus your why or the reason you're going to do these things on what Allah controls. Focus on yourself, because you're the only thing you can really control, your will and your nafs. We must aim to become the ultimate super soldiers for Allah Azza wa Jalla cause in the modern times. Think of the Dagestani fighters, right? They don't control if Dana White gives them fights or title fights and title defenses, right? Of course, title defenses, but they also, they only could control becoming championship worthy and becoming champions themselves in terms of who they are. Islam Makachev, when he steps in that ring, bi'idhnillah, Allah has given him the ability, and when he steps in that ring, he's already a menace because of who he is, not because of a specific weight class or specific wrestling. People can debate that, but Islam Makachev himself is just the champion through all this time of building the identity, of building what it means to be a champion, right? In the same way that we should be focusing our identity and our discipline, our why, on becoming a Muslim super soldier. We not only stay strict on our responsibilities, but we also increase the chances of Allah Azza wa Jalla granting us the desired outcomes, because we stop being dependent on the outcome. I think this is the problem with our programming in self-development. A lot of us in self-development, we were taught to live life according to goals, like goal setting, etc. But I think it's flawed. I think because you start attaching your happiness and your contentment to those things which are not in your control. Even Jannah isn't in your control. All you can do is be a Muslim. You can't get Jannah. You can only be a Muslim. And it's through being a Muslim that you get the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal. Doing what Allah Azza wa Jal wants from you. It's through being the identity and embodying the identity as far as it goes that bi'idhnillah you get the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal, and you won't do those things that won't get you there, and you'll do the things that get you there. Do you see? It's the same thing. Same thing with anything. And so what we should focus on is not the 5K a month. It's not the Hafid. It's not all these intentions, one for the sake of Allah. Because we do, which is great. That was the first problem. But what we should put our entire focus on is just becoming a super soldier. And so identity over numbers. We're not trying to earn a specific amount of money to give sadaqah, which is great. We're not trying to achieve a particular body fat to impress our future wives, which is great. We're not trying to memorize all 6,666 verses of the Quran. We are trying to become the most disciplined, strong, fit, knowledgeable, devoted men ever. It's not about memorizing the Quran. It's about becoming a hafiz. It's not about 5K a month. It's about becoming wealthy. It's not about a six-pack. It's about becoming fit. The focus on identity. I know people have said this before, and don't take it as like, what do you mean? Brother, what I mean is just focus on the thing itself rather than what you're getting. Focus on what you can do with the thing. The focus that we should have in terms of our why and the reason we're going through all this pain and the reason that we're doing this is to embody the behaviors of a Muslim super soldier. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. Like, by Muslim super soldier, I mean, like, you know, Captain America? Like, you know how he's like, just, I'm saying that in terms of like fiction in the sense of trying to understand what I mean. Like, he's strong, fit, yani, honorable, in the sense that you're just a superhero in that sense, right? And you look at, like, for example, the Dagestani fighters as an example of what I'm trying to say, like, getting all your aspects strong so that you can use that to serve Allah Azza wa Jal. We'll get that just now. And the outcomes will follow bi'idhnillah, right? So this means make your why about focusing on executing the behaviors of these things. Instead of wanting to memorize the Quran, just be a person who memorizes the Quran. Don't even just memorize it. Don't think about getting to the end. Just think about every day, have a portion of the day where you memorize new things and you keep the memorization and you redo it. When you go to the gym, it's not about getting six-packs. It's just go to the gym, train as hard as humanly possible, eat clean, and do a little bit of cardio or do martial arts. It's about the actual thing becoming you. It's about doing those outputs at the hardest level, and we'll talk about that. The same thing with work. It's not about what you're going to get from the work. It's just do the work as best you can type stuff. Focus on the identity, right? And this means focusing on executing the behaviors of these things and viewing success in the behavior, not the outcome. And so the Muslim super soldier. So what I want you to focus on is becoming the hardest working man you can be. Don't focus on the money. Just push as hard as you humanly can in terms of what is beneficial. Don't waste your time, but like do things that are good. But work really hard. Do real good things. When you train relentlessly. You don't just train. You train because you're a Muslim super soldier, right? When you train, you must just put out. When you're reading and memorizing Quran consistently, like I said, don't focus on getting the Quran done. Just do it. Just do the memorization and the reading and recitation. So when you seek knowledge, you just seek knowledge. Just constantly be seeking knowledge. And by doing these behaviors, you become these identities. And by becoming these identities, you become a tool for Allah's cause. Therefore, you will be not only capable of carrying the blessings and enacting the change that you actually want. When you focus on the identity and the behavior, bi'idhnillah, you can be that tool. And perhaps Allah will choose for you to be the means as to which you can enact that goodness. And that is what it means to go ghost. That is why we go ghost. We go ghost to become those super soldiers on the earth, to enforce the will of Allah Azza wa Jal, becoming a Khalifa in practice, right? If you don't know, our mission here as men is to be that Khalifa who establishes the deen on the earth, right? And so in the modern sense, what does that mean? What can we do? What we should be doing and why we should be going ghost is just to be that soldier. Every state of you're just a tool. And whether it's wealth, whether it's a strength, whether it's of ilm, whether it's of being a hafiz, whatever you can do to be a tool in the cause of Allah Azza wa Jal. Impact. Imagine if 100,000 men, 100,000 Muslim men became huffaz of Quran, became extremely fit. That's why I say super soldier. I mean, you're strong, you're mobile, you're athletic, perhaps you do martial arts most of the time, you're wealthy, you're constantly seeking knowledge. We could be extraordinary tools of Allah Azza wa Jal if He grants us the honor. Look at the Sahaba. They just sent the best of men. The Abdul Rahman who was wealthy, Khalid ibn Walid who was had the ilm of generalship, Umar bin Khattab who was strong, Huffaz of Quran, all of them, ulama going, right? He sent them. And they became the tools because Allah granted them the honor. Because they became those people, right? And by striving to become these soldiers, by striving to become a tool that perhaps the Lord the Most High can use me as an honor, then every effort, by striving to become a soldier, if your intention is, I want to be that soldier who is a tool, then bi'idhnillah, every effort is rewarded. Not just the outcome, the effort itself. And as Allah Azza wa Jal says in the Quran, and those who strive for us, we will surely guide them to our ways, and indeed Allah is with the doers of good. So focus on the strive, akhi. Focus on becoming a tool. Focus on becoming a soldier. Focus on becoming the best human you can be, to be a tool in every single way, shape, and form for Allah's will. And bi'idhnillah, He will bless us and He will grant us those things that we do desire to do, that good stuff. But instead of focusing on the things that we want Him to bless us with, focus on becoming the person and the tool to use those things for Allah's cause. Right? And so how do we actually go? How do we actually go ghost? And so we've covered this. We've covered what it means to go ghost, what it actually means. Spending a long time, actually focused. Why? Which is that we should commit to becoming Muslim super soldiers, to be tools of Allah Azza wa Jal, instead of focusing on the outcomes. Focus on the identities, right? Focus on becoming the best and the strongest and everything, right? Not what it is. It's focusing on building you. And so how do we actually do it? That's the real question. I've been trying to go ghost for years. And alhamdulillah, I think I've reached a level where people complain that even today, that you never open your phone, that you're always in your room, that you're never having fun anymore. And perhaps they don't see the dunya benefits yet, and perhaps the akhirah success is not shown. But what matters is, alhamdulillah, after years, I'm finally on the right path. And I want you to be on it as well. And so below is the practical blueprint of how to go about it. So there's a few principles that are imperative to go ghost for the next 2 to 3 years. Bi'idhnillah azza wa jal. So the most important resource you have is your attention. Not money, not motivation. Attention plus time equals power, and that power to transform, that power to become that Muslim soldier. And so the first bottleneck that most men lose to is Netflix, trash, long form content, doom scrolling, instant dopamine hits. These are the things that are the first thing getting in our way. And you cannot go ghost if the dunya owns your attention. So here are the 3 things that you must implement bi'idhnillah azza wa jal that are going to change your attention and change your time. Number 1 is the war map, which is macro control. Now the war map is simply your yearly macro plan. So you can use a Google Calendar or a physical calendar. I have my physical calendar right here. It's a whole planner calendar, right? A big one. And you basically just map out your work projects, your academic projects, meaning what, in terms of what books you're going to do, your training cycles, like when you're going to bulk, when you're going to cut, your dean studies, what are you going to study, what are you going to complete in the year, and your major transformations you want to complete. So what I mean by this is, for example, in terms of your work projects, for me, I have my course, building my new courses. If you didn't know, by the way, I'm releasing some really sick stuff, and I'm so excited, bro, for the porn cure course. It's going to change the ummah. Like, please make dua for me, guys. I really want this to cook, bro. What we're working on right now, I'd love to share with you guys soon. But so stay tuned to the video, subscribe so you can keep checking that out. But I have the next 2 months until Ramadan, akhi. I have every single work project I need to complete until Ramadan. It's 2025, akhi. 2026 February. I already know what I have to do. Right? Same thing when it comes to Islamic classes. I haven't done that yet. And you imagine pre-planning every single Islamic class you want to study for the entire year. Imagine pre-planning every single time you bulk and cut. Imagine pre-planning all your semesters of what you're going to read, all the books you want to read, what courses you want to study. Even if it comes to, you know how in school I used to have something called a project timetable, where the school would basically dictate the calendar of what you have to complete and when things are due, etc. And that's what we're going to do for ourselves. Even your business milestones, not even milestones, it's more it's more about projects and stuff like that. And so What I have found is my whole life of self-development for the last almost 5 years now, I've never had macro direction. And without macro direction, you'll be very busy, but you won't go in a direction. You'll make progress, but not toward anything really meaningful. You won't get the exponential thing because you are not going in one direction. You're going in 7. So for example, imagine like this year I just started, alhamdulillah, seeking knowledge for this year, the beginning of the year. That's when I really started, right? I've been kind of all over the place. All over the place. And it's been great. But imagine if I planned in the first month, I'm just going to watch fiqh. Every single day, fiqh. Second month, aqidah. Third month, tarikh. Fourth month, Arabi. Right? The actual study of Arabic. Do you see how now there's a macro vision? Neither will you just move to your wins. People that transform are those who already know what they're doing in February, June, November. They already know what's happening next year. Like if you don't know, business owners already know what they're going to do at January 2027. That's how well planned they are. MMA training camps, they schedule it months in advance and with brutal precision. Like brutal precision. You know, from February 8th to April 21st, we have a training camp in Dagestan. Come August, we have a training camp in UAE. Come January, we have a training camp in Madison Square Garden, right? Now, New Jersey, right? No, not I know MSG is in New York. I'm not dumb, but you get my point. They already planned it. If they didn't plan it and they were like, today you want to do a training camp, wouldn't work. But that's how we live. So I've done the same now. Alhamdulillah, like I said, my coursework is done. Right now, I haven't done my physique phases. I haven't done my academic plan for myself, quote unquote curriculum for myself. I haven't done it yet, but I am going to do it bismillah. And this is what real macro control looks like, right? You just plan those things. And it's through planning those things, even your academic, whether it's religious or secular sciences that you want to do for yourself, when you're learning things, when you're watching courses, when you're reading books, what do you want to learn in the year? What should be accomplished? What's the macro vision? We don't have that. And in school we do, and that's why we get things done. So we should got to use it for ourselves. So something I've been missing for so long, but bismillah, you're going to do for the next 2-3 years of going ghost. Action 2 is the schedule, which is micro control. So the macro creates direction. So now we know which direction we're going through. The schedule creates the discipline. So your daily schedule must include all 5 pillars of of the ghost mode day. Okay? The first pillar is deen. The second pillar is training. The third pillar is work/uni. The fourth pillar is learn. The fifth pillar is seek ilm. That's it. Your entire schedule is just those 5 things. If you're not doing one of those 5 things, there's a problem. Of course, deen also means spending time with your family. So if you spend time with family, then yeah, sharp, you're good. Now that means no free time. No doom scrolling, no chilling, right? Just 5 blocks repeated 5 to 6 days a week. And this is my trick. You rest on the weekend. On the weekend, you can sleep more. You can eat whatever you want. You can see in terms of spend a lot of time with your family. You can play games. You can recharge. Come Saturday, Sunday, do what you want, akhi. As long as you do your fara'id of Islam, don't do anything haram, don't do anything dumb, chill, brother. Come Monday, you are a monster. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, there should be 0 time wasted. That's what it means to go ghost on the distractions. And so and also it means no holidays. What is this like holidays, akhi? Brother, so many people waste their year with holidays. You have 12 months in the year. Let's say you take out Saturday and Sunday. It actually becomes a lot less. Let's say that removes 2 months. Now you have 10 months. You take a holiday, 3 months out of the year. How many months do you have left? You got like 7 months now. You had 12 months, now you have 7 months of real work to do. So taking a holiday, if you can, don't do that. I think I mentioned this later, but these mini weekends, they prevent burnout. So some people say you should, I've tested everything. Alhamdulillah, I've tested a lot of things. I found that the mini weekends, these like Saturday and Sunday bursts of doing whatever you want, it helps me just not burn out, and you never need a holiday season, right? Don't get any holidays for the next 2 to 3 years, brother. Unless it's Umrah, there's no way you need to go. Until you become at least the beginning of a super soldier, there's nothing for you to do, akhi. There's nothing. You have to get married, akhi. You gotta grow up. You gotta be a man. To become a man, it's 2-3 years. 2-3 years Dagestan, brother. 2-3 years Dagestan in your house, akhi. You can't go anywhere else. You gotta do this. So these mini weekends, they help a lot with this. And this focused consistency of 5 days a week on, 2 days a week off is better than the short bursts of 14, 16, 17 days, right? Okay. Number 3 is the habit tracker, which is accountability. So what you need to do is, either you come to the majlis, you join the network where we have like a live accountability every single day. Everyone has to post. Or you could do it yourself. You can get a notebook. Majlis is first thing in the description, by the way. Please join it, guys. Like, I love you guys for the sake of Allah, and I'd love to meet you guys and talk to you guys and benefit you, and you benefit me. And that's what we have there. So first thing in the description. It's really great. So first thing you got to do is get a notebook and just write your deen. Your deen meaning the masjid, your salah, yani, although I shouldn't be counting. Your masjid, your Quran, your adhkar, these type of things are deen, right? Or if you're learning Arabic, or if you're spending time with your parents, etc., these are deen things. Training, work or uni, or learn or seek ilm. So for example, I'm gonna bring mine. So this is an example of what a habit tracker should look like. Something like this. You see this? That's what it should look like. Just putting all the things at the top, work, gym, and all those 5 things, and then you just tick or cross each one 5 to 6 days a week. I recommend 5 days a week, by the way. It's better for you. And seeing that red cross hurts. Do you see how nice it is to see all those ticks, brother? Do you see these red crosses here? It sucks to see them. So that actually gives you a lot of pain that will change your behavior and make you be more productive than any motivation could. And this creates a positive feedback loop which skyrockets your discipline. And Brother Yasin, by the way, I think he said in the majlis, he said this habit tracker on the majlis makes me want to complete the thing when I didn't think I would. And that's the perfect example. It is like that for me. So, by the way, if you want to be like Brother Yasin who's improving yourself, and Assalamu alaikum, Brother Yasin, if you're watching, you could join the majlis, first link in the description. So, second principle is environment. Your environment will determine your success going ghost over the next 2 to 3 years. Okay? There are 2 types of environments. The first one's a digital environment. This is very simple. Just don't use your phone. I've already explained this deeply in the digital environment video. I will put it in the iCard somewhere. My entire explanations. I have 2 or 3 videos on this topic. You can watch them. They will help you fix your digital environment. But the second one is the physical environment, which is what most people fail to fix, which is to remove temptations from your space if possible. If, for example, like for me, having my PS4 there, I have done 5 years worth of fixing myself to not turn that on right now. But if that really tempts you, remove it, right? Even if it's like, for example, junk food. If you can get rid of junk food from your life, that's great. That's even better for you. And to limit your time or remove in environments that bring you back to your old identity. Meaning that, when it comes to playing games, for me, it's 2 days. I do not touch that game ever again. Because it will bring me back to my old identity. And how identity works is you will revert to the identity that is the most common. So if you are most of the time disciplined, it's easy to be disciplined. If you are most of the time not disciplined, it's easier to be not disciplined. So the moment you hit that more disciplined, it's easy to turn off these things because that's just who you are. And also, especially, distance yourself from friends who drain your discipline, who call you towards the evil, who call you towards being a loser, okay? Honestly, it's the random calls, messages that will destroy your entire streak of going ghost 2 to 3 years. If you can really move cities, do it. It's one of the fastest ways to enter a new identity. And for you to become that super soldier, that Muslim super soldier, people are not going to like you, okay? Because you're going to be so different. If you can't move, I need you to change yourself so radically that your environment is forced to change around you. And people will resist. They resist me constantly. They don't like me. Because they don't like who I am to them. I'm someone different. People don't like when you switch identities. They like you as low and dumb as you can be. But people will try and pull you back to that person who they want you to be. But you have to push through that fiction. And so strong recommendation, buzz your hair, akhi. Trim your mustache and adopt that Dagestani Muslim super soldier look. Okay, you see those guys, brother. You're a man, brother. You got to think of yourself in Dagestan for 2 to 3 years than home. That's actually the title of the video. It says how to go ghost and upgrade your life, in brackets, how to send yourself Dagestan 2 to 3 years at home. Who cares about your hair, akhi? No one cares. Buzz that hair. Who cares about your mustache? Get a 3mm blade. Brr. Sunnah, akhi. You could grow out your beard as well, mashallah. Right? Adopt that look of those Dagestanis, right? It's a look that you can blend into their character. And it sounds small, but changing your appearance is a psychological cue of new identity formation. It literally signals that I am not who I was. And this makes the change of becoming more disciplined and not wasting your time so much easier. Today I was in the gym, akhi. Some guy, he looks at me. I think he's some non-Muslim. He looks at me, he starts talking to me. I'm like, I can't hear, right? Because I'm listening to things. And so I take out the earphones and he says, you have the whole Dagestani cut. I said it's on purpose, right? Because it really is on purpose. But the fact that he noticed that, I changed the environment. Not to say that I'm anything. I mean that by assuming the Dagestani look, I changed the environment's perception of me. And I changed my perception of me. Do you get it? Like, I mean, none of the skin fade stuff. I mean, a home buzz cut, brother. Get your mom or your dad to, I gotta, fix up these back ends. Bidnillah. But the same way Islam Makachev takes his buzz and bzzz, keep us, mashallah, according to the sunnah. Adopt it. I'm telling you, identity cooks, bro. I want to see my boys buzzing their hair and going full Habib style. Let's go. Principle 3, effort. This is simple but powerful. To be a Muslim super soldier, to build this identity, it is just doing your everything into your work. It's putting your entire soul into it. Every salah you do, you do with everything. Every recitation you do with everything. Every deep work block, you do with everything. Every gym session you push, you put out. You are trying to build the ultimate tool. You're not trying to get an outcome. You are trying to build a machine. You are the machine. So when you are trying to build a machine, you should output like a machine. And this will make you enjoy going ghost. It's actually very fun when you push past that pain and just do everything with the most ability. And you will grow your skills faster, you will accelerate your dunya results, inshallah, and you will instantly shift your identity into that Muslim super soldier. Like I said, think Captain America. I need the super soldier, like the super soldier serum, but for Allah's cause. Your goal is to become Captain America for the Muslim, right? So, Captain Islam, akhi. Captain Islam. We need a Captain Islam. All of us should just be guys who, you run like a tank, you lift heavy weights, you are insanely, bi'idhnillah, powerful in the sense that, not in terms of leadership, but bi'idhnillah in your wealth so that you can use it as a tool. You are a hafiz of Quran, lots of ilm, you're studying a lot. This is the type of men we need to be again. And I think when we really go back to this, and I think using this Dagestani haircut's gonna help out a lot, right? Men should not care about the hair, bro. I was trying to grow out my hair. I don't care, bro. I'm in Dagestan, brother. I'm in Dagestan in here, brother. No one cares, brother. No one cares, brother. And the reality is, as a man, this is like the end of the video, right? But as a man, nobody cares about, brother. You are a tool. You can be a tool for Allah Azza wa Jal, or you can be a tool for the people. That is your value, akhi. That is your value, akhi. I'm gonna be real. And this is something that I used to remember, but because I tried to brainwash myself in the reality, a man is a tool, akhi. You are utility. As a man who is 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, you ain't nothing, brother. You are nothing, brother. You have no utility. But bi'idhnillah, let's not fall into the trap that the people do, that they do it for the people. We want to do it for Allah. I want to be the greatest tool I can be for Allah's blessing to allow me to be the means as to which He can make change. He chooses to make change. If He could do whatever He wants. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. But, the Sahaba were honored with the ability to make that kind of change and get those rewards. They were honored because of who they were. And so we have to become those super soldiers through this ghost mode, upgrade our lives, upgrade ourselves, and perhaps we'll get those outcomes that we actually wanted. Perhaps we'll build that utility so that, imagine all of us, we can be those strong trooper men, and bi'idhnillah, we can do so much change. So the final note is going ghost will be deficient if you don't quit porn. If you still watch porn during your Dagestani mode at home, 2-3 years, you are not going to go anywhere, akhi. And I'm telling you. You could do all of these things, but it will not change anything. This ummah needs to stop watching porn. Bismillah. And so if you want the full anti-prawn system that I built, why is ChatGPT? Sorry guys, I'm not gonna lie, I do use ChatGPT too. Yeah, I need to shift through my notes so that it looks pretty. But it says I used myself. I didn't use it. But I built it, and I'm building it by the now, right? You can get the Annihilate P course in the description, second link. And right now, you can use it to start benefiting from it. But by the end of the year, there's something insane coming out, akhi. Bi'idhnillah, I hope, as I said, it's going to change the state of this ummah. Bi'idhnillah. Make dua, please make dua. May Allah purify our intentions. But honestly, I want this course to cook, akhi. I want this to change, okay? You. So you can get it now for cheaper, because when it comes out more expensive. So now it's about like 59. So later it's gonna come out more expensive. So you can get it for cheap now and get the upgrade for free. Plus you get another upgrade of the other product I'm gonna create, which is another 24 courses, which you will see later. It's gonna be very beneficial as well. So if you get this Annihilate P course right now, you will basically get 25 courses for cheaper and for free. Right on top of that. So bismillah, just check it out. It's basically like a pre-order for the new thing, but you also get benefit from the current version. But the new version, brother, I'm trying to make a course that, honey, all you have to do is watch, and it's gonna change this P addiction. It's called the Porn Cure. I'm very excited. I'm building it today. Today we did the lesson. So check it out. Get this. Basically, it's a pre-order for the new thing, and you can benefit from the right one. So second link in the description. Bismillah, we're gonna change with this. So yeah, that's how you go ghost. We answered all these questions from the overview. We answered why, we answered what, we answered how, we answered why everyone sucks, and how to go ghost. So I'll see you in 2 to 3 years, brother. Those who actually watch the video and change their world, see you in 2 to 3 years, brother. See you.